Very good morning, students. Welcome back to our mathematics class, number system, part 3 video. In the previous class, we discussed up to period and periodicity of a non-terminating repeating decimal. Today, we are going to discuss converting terminating decimal into a rational number, that is, in the form of p by q. For example, you take 3.28 children, it is a terminating decimal. You know, in earlier classes we have learnt how to convert this type of decimals into a common fraction, that is nothing but 328 by 100. You cancel by 2, it will be 2 164s, 2 50s. Still it can be 2 82s, 2 25s. So finally the simplest form is 82 by 25, which is in the p by q form, nothing but a rational number. So this is the terminating decimal. Its rational number is 82 by 25. In the same way, one more example I am taking here, 3.142678. This is a terminating decimal. If you convert this into a common fraction, that will be 31,42678 by 10 lakhs, which is nothing but a rational number. You also can convert here into simplest form. So this is very easy and everybody know how to convert the terminating decimal into a rational number. Now the next topic is converting a non-terminating repeating decimal into a rational number. For example, you take 1.27 bar. This is a non-terminating repeating decimal. We need to convert this into a rational number. Children, I tell you one procedure here. Please follow that. First of all, you just take the given number as x by removing its bar. That means 1.272727, etc. Any number of times this repeating part we can take. I just took here 3 times. And immediately you have to write the periodicity. Yes, 27 bar. So the periodicity is 2. Once you observe, children, if the periodicity is 1, you multiply by 10 on both sides. If the periodicity is 2, you multiply by 100 on both sides. If the periodicity is 3, you multiply by 1000 on both sides, and so on. So in this equation we have the period is 2. So multiply both sides by 100. Then 100 into x, 100x. If you multiply this by 100, you will get 127.2727, etc. And you write this number, sum of two numbers, such that this value must come. Then how can we write 126 plus 1.2727, etc. Then 126 plus this 1.2727 bar can be written as x. Afterwards, you will get 100x is equal to 126 plus x. Transpose this plus x to this side. 100x minus x is equal to 126. 99x is equal to 126. So x is equal to 126 by 99. Then you can cancel by 9. 9 14s, 9 11s, 14 by 11, which is the simplest form, that is called a rational number, which is in the p by q form. So that non-terminating repeating decimal 1.27 bar is expressed as 14 by 11. Children, you also can do like this. Take this 100x, that is equal to 127.2727, etc. Down you write the value of x, that is equal to 1.2727, etc. Then you subtract on both sides. It becomes 99x is equal to 126. 0.00 will come, that equals to 126. So x is equal to 126 by 99. Again you cancel, it will come 14s, 9 14s and 9 11s. That is x is equal to 14 by 11. X is nothing but 1.27 bar is equal to 14 by 11, which is a rational number. Like this also you can do, children. One more example, children. 0.235 bar. Here the bar is for only 35. This we have to convert into a rational number. It is a non-terminating repeating decimal. Again you take x is equal to 0.2, remove the bar, 35, 35, 35, etc. And here you observe, children, the periodicity is 2. So we multiply on both sides by 100. So 100 into x, 100x. If you multiply this by 100, you will get 23.53535, etc. This number you write sum of two numbers such that you must get 0.2353535, etc. So how we can write 23.3 plus 0.2353535, etc. Then you write 23.3s here. This 0.2353535, etc. is known as x. Afterwards you transpose this x to this side. 100x minus x is equal to 23.3. It is 99x is equal to 23.3. Next, 99x is equal to this 23.3 I can write as 233 by 10. Next, by transposing this into 99 to that side, it becomes by. So x is equal to 233 by 99 into 10, 990. It is already in the simplest form. So 0.235 bar is equal to 233 by 990, which is a rational number in the form of p by q. And the same problem you can do in other way, as I told you in the previous example. Just by taking 100x and down x, you can subtract, you will get 99x is equal 23.3. The other procedure is the same. You can also do like that. So children, you are understood how to convert the terminating decimal and non-terminating repeating decimal as a rational number. Now I just want to tell you how to say the given rational number is a terminating decimal or not without doing actual division. Take a rational number, children, which is in the form of p by q, and take its denominator q. You do the prime factorization for the denominator. That must come either in only 2 powers or only in 5 powers or in both. So if you get in this form, directly you can say that the given rational number is a terminating decimal. Otherwise it is a non-terminating repeating decimal. For example, I took 17 by 25. Here no need to do actual division. By using this method we can say that denominator you do the prime factorization 5 square. Yes, it is in 5 powers. So it's a terminating decimal. I told you, once again you recall, either in only 2 powers or in only 5 powers or both 2 powers into 5 powers. One more example, 11 by 15. Again the denominator prime factorization if you do 3 power 1 into 5 power 1. Here 3 powers, other factors have come. So it is non-terminating repeating decimal. Let us go with some other example. Once again recall, in the rational number the denominator must be prime factorized, and that should be in the form of only in 2 powers or only in 5 powers or in 2 powers into 5 powers only, no other factors. Then it is said to be terminating decimal. For example, 3 by 25. 25 prime factorization 5 square. Yes, it is a terminating decimal. Next, 11 by 18, denominator 18, its prime factorization is 2 into 3 square. So not 2, not 5, others have come. So it is a non-terminating repeating decimal, not a terminating decimal. 13 by 20, again do the prime factorization. This is 13 by 2 square into 5 power 1. Yes, it is a terminating decimal. 41 by 42. So 41 by its prime factorization is 2 power 1 into 3 power 1 into 7 power 1. Others have come 3 and 7. So it is not a terminating decimal. It is a non-terminating repeating decimal. Now the next topic is irrational numbers represented by S or Q dashed. This Q power 1 is read as Q dashed. See the definition, children. Any number which is in the form of non-terminating and non-repeating or recurring decimal is called an irrational number. That means numbers which cannot be written in the form of P by Q. That means their decimal expansion is non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. Such type of numbers are called irrational numbers. For example, if you see the decimal expansions of root 2, root 3, root 5 and also as well as for pi, see, these will come. These are all, if you observe, they are non-terminating, non-repeating decimals. That's why these are all said to be irrational numbers. And you please observe here pi, children. Pi is also an irrational number because its decimal expansion is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimals. But we often take pi is approximately equal to 22 by 7 in some cases. 22 by 7 is not exact value, it's an approximate value. 22 by 7 is a rational number, but pi is not rational. Pi is an irrational number. In other way, if you see that, if n is a natural number other than a perfect square, then square root n is an irrational number. Yes, for example, you see root 9, root 16, root 25. They have their values. Root 9 is 3, root 16 is 4, root 25 is 5. These are all rational numbers. So root 9, root 16, root 25 are also rational, not irrational numbers. For example, root 11, root 17, root 19. Observe, these are all not perfect squares. So root 11, root 11, root 19, they are all said to be irrational numbers. So children, once again you recall the numbers which cannot be written in the form of P by Q, whose decimal expansion is non-terminating, non-repeating decimals, they are called irrational numbers, denoted by S or Q dashed. Children, now we are going to represent the irrational numbers just like root 2, root 3, root 5 and so on a number line. Before knowing that, we need to discuss Pythagoras theorem. You already know, children, Pythagoras theorem, this Pythagoras result we can observe in a right angle triangle. What the Pythagoras theorem says is, in any right angle triangle, hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. So in our triangle OAB, hypotenuse is OB, the two sides are OA and AB. So OB square is equal to OA square plus OB square. If you want to find out hypotenuse OB, the formula is root over OA square plus OB square. Nothing but hypotenuse formula is root over side square plus side square. So we are going to use this Pythagoras result in getting the irrational numbers on a number line. Now children, we are going to discuss representation of irrational numbers on number line. just like root 2, root 3, root 5 and so on. First of all, we see how to represent the irrational number root 2 on a number line. For this, I have drawn a number line and I took here 0 and 1, 2, 3 and minus 1, minus 2 with equal distance. Nothing but 0 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3 with the same distance. For my convenience here, I took every distance is 2 centimeters that I considered as 1 unit. So this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit and so on. This 0 I took as O, this 1 I took as A. OA is 1 unit. Afterwards, at A you draw a perpendicular with 1 unit which is equal to 2 centimeters. That is AB. Afterwards, you join O comma B. Then OB will be equal to root 2 because this is a right angle triangle. So in this right angle triangle, as I told you, apply the Pythagoras theorem. OB square is equal to OA square plus AB square. OA is 1, OA square is 1 square, AB square is 1 square. That is equal to 1 square plus 1 square 2. So OB is equal to root 2. So we got OB is equal to root 2. This OB distance we got root 2 units. So this distance, this length we have to show on the number line which represents root 2. So children, now I am taking O as center and OB as radius. I am drawing an arc. So where this arc intersects the number line, that point represents root 2. Now one more irrational number, root 3. How to represent this root 3 on a number line? We see that. Again, you draw the number line, you take the numbers with equidistance. I told you here I took 2 centimeters as 1 unit for my convenience, and up to root 2 construction you do the same procedure. Next, at B you draw a perpendicular which is equal to 1 unit. Then OB is equal to root 2, BC is equal to 1. You join OC. Then OBC become a right angle triangle. Then OC will be equal to root 3 units, because you see here in triangle OBC, it's a right angle triangle, no? So I can apply Pythagoras theorem. OC square is equal to OB square plus BC square. OB is nothing but root 2 whole square. BC is nothing but 1 square. So 2 plus 1, OC square is equal to 3. So OC is equal to root 3. Now I am going to plot this root 3 on the number line. So OC we have got root 3. This OC distance we have to show as a point on number line, which is root 3. So children, with O as center and OC as radius, if I draw an arc, yes, you see where this arc intersects the number line, that point is root 3. So this is the way how to represent root 3 on number line. So children, if you continue this procedure for root 2, root 3, root 4, root 5 and root 6, continue the procedure, you will get a spiral. This is called a square root spiral. In this you observe children, this root 2 and root 3 lies between 1 and 2. And also root 5, root 6, root 7, root 8, they are all lies between 2 and 3. This is called square root spiral children. You also can draw by using the procedure.